This is incredible. RFK Jr. was physically startled because a protester interrupted his hearings. And this comes amid what has been chaos on Capitol Hill over the GOP's intended bill to cut Medicaid. It's so obvious what they're doing that even Fox News has to admit that they're going to cut Medicaid.
The House Energy Committee releasing its portion of the reconciliation legislation late last night. The bill cuts from Medicaid and adds work requirements and more frequent eligibility.
The bill cuts from Medicaid, and that means that what Medicaid provides is it's a life-saving program that 80 million Americans count on every day. It provides health care to 1 in 3 Americans. Nearly half of all children in the United States are covered by Medicaid. And that is what the Republicans are trying to attack. And because of that, people are pissed off, rightfully so. And I've got a bunch of clips of folks doing their patriotic duty and protesting this awful bill. Here's just one clip. So it's awful that they have to do this, and I'm smiling, though, because it makes me feel so proud to be an American, to see them stand up for themselves and use their First Amendment rights to protest and to attack these Republicans for this awful bill that they're trying to pass. And it just makes me feel very proud to see folks who are doing what they can to make change, because power does not come from the top and trickle down. It comes from the bottom and trickles up. And each and every one of us has the ability to stop this insanity that is happening in our country. And this is just such a great example of it. AOC also dismantled the Republican spending bill with this devastating takedown.
The Affordable Care Act exchange. So once you are kicked off Medicaid, you then can't even buy your own health insurance. It increases costs for people who they deem eligible and who are low income and forces them to pay even more. And if you have a private insurer, don't worry, you're getting screwed over too, because your healthcare premiums are going to skyrocket from the disaster that is happening from this bill. We've done assessments, because if you live in a rural community, you're going to be hurt too. In New York 23, 25% of people are on Medicaid in this area of upstate New York. Westfield Memorial Hospital will be at risk of closure. UPMC Chautauqua is at risk of closure. Schuyler Hospital at risk of closure. California 23, where 46% of people are on Medicaid. Redlands Community Hospital at risk of closure if this passes. Victor Valley Global Medical Center, Loma Linda University Medical Center.
Yeah, so as you can see here, she's doing a great job of just showing exactly what the devastation would be from this bill that is likely going to pass. I mean, what has been happening right now is it's been going on for 30 hours, a 30-hour hearing that Democrats have not stopped fighting. But they are intent on making this happen. And I just want to point out, too, that as this is happening, Donald Trump is accepting a $400 million bribe from Qatar. It's estimated, it says here, it would take $1 billion in taxpayer money to retrofit the airplane. So we have to cut $800 million from Medicaid, from hardworking Americans, from nearly half the children in our country, to stop providing them health care. But we can afford to retrofit a $400 million bribe gift to Donald Trump and then retrofit it with $1 billion of taxpayer money to make it acceptable for the president to fly. And here's Donald Trump excusing all of that.
These planes, the plane that you're on right now is almost 40 years old. And when you land and you see Saudi Arabia and you see UAE and you see Qatar and you see all these, and they have these brand new Boeing 747s mostly, and you see ours next to it, this is like a totally different plane. It's much smaller, it's much less impressive as it is. And, you know, we're the United States of America. I believe that we should have the most impressive plane. So anyway, so they said to me, we would like to, in effect, we would like to make a gift. You've done so many things.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really care how big the plane is that the president flies in. I think a better sign of our country's status would be if, I don't know, half the country's children are still able to get health care that they need. Here are more folks interrupting these congressional hearings, and I just love to see this. Real quick, if you're watching this, like, let's just applaud these people. If you're in the comments, let's give them a thumbs up. Let's give them a round of applause. Let's shout out to them, because these are patriotic Americans, and they obviously are disabled. They shouldn't have to do this, but thank God that they are. And then, yeah, let's go to this moment with RFK Jr., where he gets absolutely startled by a protester. It's so funny. These Republicans, I guess he's an independent, I don't even know what he is. They are so they're so arrogant, but when they get the slightest bit of pushback, they show their true colors.
Presenting today supports these goals and reflects.
All right, whoa. That guy does not have to be so aggressive. That's actually offensive. Like, he could just be like, ma'am, you need to get out. But like, this to me is like the acceleration of the political violence and the complete degradation of respect of the First Amendment, that this officer feels compelled to be violent towards this woman because she is standing up and protesting this hearing. Insane.
The witness will suspend. The committee will come to order. Capitol Police are asked to remove the individuals from the hearing.
Yo, I love all this protesting. This is awesome.
Members of the
Look at her getting carried out. Good for you, girl.
members of the audience are reminded disruptions will not be tolerated. Members of the audience are reminded disruptions will not be permitted.
I love it. And then we're not going to watch all this, but just a reminder, this is a political loser. It's a political loser. I don't want them to do this. I hope they don't do this. But if they do it, they are going to get everything coming to them, and they're going to deserve it. 76 of Americans oppose the cuts, which is large enough to be about equal to George Washington's 78% approval rating.
The politics of this are so bad, it literally blows my mind. That is what the American people think of this. Major spending cuts to Medicaid. Look at this. 76% oppose. Just 24% favor major federal spending cuts to Medicaid. To give you an idea of how big this 76% is, in a separate poll I looked at it, George Washington's favorable rating is 78%. Basically, the exact same percentage of Americans who are opposed to major cuts to Medicaid on the federal level. As I said, the politics of this are so extremely bad, it blows my mind, Kate.
Well, if it's bad politics, that means Republicans have to do it. They're going to do it. And please keep protesting. Keep showing up, because it does make a difference. It does make a difference. Part of the reason why 76% of those people oppose it, because of protesters showing up, using the First Amendment rights and letting other Americans know what is actually going on. So keep it up. We'll keep watching it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.